Hey y'all, it has been a really rough week this week. We have had really high temperatures, triple digits actual temperature, and I think like 115, 120 heat indexes. And we have not had any measurable rain for like a month and a half. So it has been a long time. The poor garden is suffering. You can see our poor Mexican sunflowers are not looking so hot. So you know it must be pretty bad whenever these drought tolerant plants are stressed. And if we look at the ground, you can see how bad the cracks are. This isn't even the worst spot. Like, yeah, you can see my foot. It is really bad. And it's not just like that here. It's everywhere, really. Like, we can even pan over here where the grass is, and it's bad there too. Like, it is super bad. So we're going to go ahead and head to like our main kitchen garden. We can have a quick look at the herb garden. Like, even the poor zinnias are stressed, and they are usually pretty drought tolerant. Our lemon balm bed's kind of stressed, and I did get this bed prepped for our fall crops, and I ran out of ground cover, so I had to use the cardboard. I guess I'm regressing back to what I used to do. This was what I used to do a long time ago. And even Robert's alfalfa over here, it is really sad. We're keeping it alive. I think it's surviving.
Yeah, it's about all it's doing. It's survival.
Yeah, it has been really tough on everything. The coleus, we've kept it alive, but it has got like water every single day. Our poor strawberries are barely holding on. Like, things are really rough, and we had super high hopes that it was going to rain. We heard thunder. It got kind of dark and cloudy. It's not nearly as sunny and bright as it was, but we didn't get a drop. So that was a really big letdown. Oh goodness, the weeds have got Robert. There we go. You can tell I was weeding the garden. I just threw them all, and everybody's been stumbling over them. So this is what the garden's looking like right now. It's pretty stressed.
Yeah, our in-ground garden it's basically dead.
Yeah, I didn't even fertilize. I came out and fertilized yesterday, and I didn't even mess with it. It was so hot out here. Oh my goodness. It was it was literally dangerously hot. That we keep getting notifications that it's like the excessive heat warnings. It's really bad.
Go inside, stay in the air
Yeah.
conditioning. That's all they say, screaming at you.
Yeah, it is.
We forgot to get a glove too.
Oh, I did, didn't I? What? Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll pause. I'm sure the phone won't make it very Okay, well, we'll come into the garden. We have still been having lots and lots of issues with critters and things like that. I left the old tomatoes in hopes that they would get that, but I don't think they did. So I'm going to come out here with a glove at some point and just get rid of all of that. Let's see, there's a tomato back here. I need to try and get a really pretty one. This is a Better Boy, and it is really great. Like, it's still producing. Like, our tomatoes actually are probably one of the better ones. They haven't been as affected with the heat as like the peppers and other things. The okra too, it's doing really good. Let's see, I'm trying to remember what this one was. I cannot remember what it was, what variety it was, but this is more our big slicer tomato bed. And it's done really good. It's probably not going to be the best week for tomatoes. We have just had such high temperatures and no rain. Like, we're doing the best we can, like watering it like several times a week, but it is just not enough with these really high temperatures. This one ended up falling. I got a lot of the weeds down here, and they bit back here. I got my hand. I don't know who ended up winning on that one. There's still some around, but let's see. I know I've seen one more here, but we're not like last week. We had a ton more and a lot bigger harvest. So that happens though with gardening, especially whenever you have really tough conditions. I've seen it too. Yeah. This is the, what is it, Chef's Choice Orange. I grew this a few years ago, and it was like one of my best producing tomatoes, but for some reason this year it's not as great, but they still have really good flavor. I think we'll move on to our paste tomatoes, and these things, they just keep going. They are doing really good. I think I am just about done with sauce. I'm glad they're almost done because I honestly don't think we need any more. I don't know. I guess I need to learn to make other things other than sauce. I think if you make ketchup or something like that, it uses a lot of tomatoes. We could do something like that.
We
Maybe
don't
even,
use a lot of ketchup, though, is the
well,
only
there's
thing.
one family member that kind of likes it, but yeah, we don't go through very much. But that's the thing, like we don't.
Barbecue sauce is what we need
Yes,
to.
that's true. That is what we need to get sorted. We have been working trying to figure out a barbecue sauce recipe, but we learn each time, and I think we know what we need to do to make it this time. We'll see. We're trying to get it just right, but we haven't quite got it figured out. So if y'all have any recipes, leave them down in the comments and let us know.
We're very picky about our barbecue.
Yeah.
I come originally from Kansas City, and that's
He knows good barbecue.
the barbecue capital of the world. So if it's not perfect, then it gets a thumbs down from me.
He knows good barbecue. Like I had it from Kansas City one time, and it was super good. But he's gotten really good at making it homemade and making it taste super good too.
And Carrie's done good too. She's recreated a bunch of good rubs. Rubs are really important, and especially when you're smoking meat.
Yeah, and he's even showed how to do all the smoked barbecue. We have videos on our channel about that if y'all would like to check that out. You did pork and chicken and burgers, if I'm not mistaken.
And tofu.
Oh, yes, and tofu. I forgot about that. And we even make our tofu homemade. So I think that's everything.
I think that's all I see too.
Yeah, our Amish paste tomatoes did not make it. They do not like the heat.
You want to go get these ones that are on these in-ground garden ones?
Do you think there's even anything to get we can try? So we're probably not going to have massive harvests, but that's what the garden does. It fluctuates, and sometimes things do good and you have hard times, and also that's kind of what makes gardening fun because it's not a guaranteed thing. So you kind of gotta, and sometimes it's things that are beyond your control, like the temperature. You can't help that, but
can't help how much rain you get.
Yeah, I mean, you can water and do drip irrigation and things like that, but that is very expensive, especially if you're on city water. That's the way we are. So I usually use rainwater.
What is this thing?
The lantana. Yeah, I showed that not too long ago, and it was so pretty.
Unhappy.
It is. Like everything is struggling. I've got some things in my flower garden, like the bee balm, that definitely needs to get cut back, but that's just what they do. After a while they're not very pretty anymore. But we're still getting some things, so that's good. It's still trying.
It's enough that you could survive off of it.
Yeah, probably so. Especially on all the pumpkins we got last month or last week. I mean, ooh, I got myself. Let's see. I don't even know that them peppers are going to be worth getting anything. They are like super shriveled up. Like, look at that. The poor thing. They are not very good at all.
Yeah, I think we'll just leave them.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide what to do with the garden. I'd like to plant some sunflowers here, but this ground is so hard. I was doing the ground cover in the back, and whenever I was putting in the stakes to hold it down, I had to beat it in with a rubber hammer, and it was so hard. Like the stakes were even folding over because the ground is so hard.
This ground here is...
Yeah, you can see more cracks here.
Yeah,
and there's cracks over here. There's everywhere.
Yeah, this ground is really strange, and in the summertime it gets so hard that you literally can't dig it.
Yeah.
And it's hard as concrete, and then when it gets rainy, it's so sloppy and wet that, like, if you got stuck out here in the yard, you just as well wait till spring until it dries out, because you're not getting out.
Yeah, we've literally had to have a tow truck come get us out before.
Out of our own yard.
And the ruts that it left. Oh my goodness, it was horrible.
We've had neighbors had to come pull us out with the tractor and everything else.
but they're really struggling.
I mean, you see how wilted the leaves are on these, what you call these coleuses?
I believe so, yeah.
They were watered 2 days ago.
Yesterday I fertilized them.
Oh, yesterday, and they're still. It's just so hot.
Yeah, but the sweet potatoes, they don't mind.
Oh no, sweet potatoes love it. They're just growing like crazy. I'm interested to see how they do with this ground cover this year.
Yeah, we're kind of unsure about it. While it's definitely a blessing because it is so easy to take care of, like you don't have the weeds come through it, we are noticing a few other issues with it, particularly rodents. That is being a little bit of an issue. And I was watching someone's video the other day and they were saying they had the same issue too. They put a tarp down on their garden over the winter time and they had lots of issues with rodents, and then they had issues with snakes. And I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of snakes, so I'm unsure if I'm going to continue with it. I really like it. When I did before all of the ground cover, I would always just use cardboard, and sometimes we could have the electrical companies, when they come and trim the trees before winter, they would drop the wood chips off, and that worked really good. But it is really labor intensive. It's a really cheap way to do it, but it's very labor intensive. And the grass that we have here, they just, whenever the wood chips start to like decompose and turn into the soil, the grass just takes it over. So I don't know, I'm on the fence as to what the best thing to do is. But
yeah, we have a lot of what horticulturists call, or naturalists, they call pioneer species. So basically we have a lot of grasses here that are the first grasses and the hardiest grasses to grow, and that's basically all we have.
Yeah, you can even look over there and see how green the grass still is,
yeah.
Even though the ground is cracking.
Yeah. And we got a lot of this has been used for various different things throughout the years before us. So there's there's some Bermuda grass mixed in, which it kind of dies off and gets brown a little bit in the summertime, and there's some Johnson grass mixed in, so you get that big old long stalks. And there's a big old bee. See if he'll come see me. Hi, buddy.
They're so sweet.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, even the poor little hummingbirds. The heat has been so bad. The poor little hummingbirds are falling asleep at the feeders. They're so hot. The poor birds have been panting, coming to the bird bath so much.
Yeah.
And I realized I missed more tomatoes there. Do you want to go get them? Or
well, we can.
Okay. I'm bad about missing things. I'm trying to get at a different angle and you can see them.
That's what we used to do with peppers before we would film these garden harvests. Is we would each go down a row, and then when we got to the end, we would each go down a row a different direction, and then when we got to the end, we'd swap, and we would catch the ones that the other person missed.
And we can tell the other person whenever they're on the other side, hey, there's one right here.
Yeah.
That worked out well too. You can only imagine who was having to say that more than me. Okay, well, I think that's probably about it for tomatoes. It's kind of pitiful, but we had a really big
that's not I wouldn't call that pitiful.
That's really big harvest last week.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much that is. You're probably right. I mean, that's probably what, 6 pounds, something like that.
Probably something like that.
Not too bad. Well, how's the phone doing? Is it okay?
It hasn't even screamed it's hot yet.
Oh my goodness. He doesn't know what to do with the cloud cover.
14 minutes in and it's still saying it's okay.
My goodness. Well, do you want to do peppers then?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Are you good enough to do them?
Yep.
Okay. Let me get you a basket here and your snips.
Or do you want to stop so you can go get a glove? That way we can do the others right
However
after.
you want to do it.
All right, well, we'll just pause for a second. We'll be right back. All right, y'all, we lied to you. Carrie forgot we needed to do the okra, so we're
Yeah.
going to do that first.
One of the things that does great in the heat, just like the sweet potatoes, is okra. And this one might be too big, but this one is called, I keep saying a high producer, but it's actually called a heavy hitter. I don't know why I can't remember its name, but I got that from Baker Creek, and it's supposed to produce 250 okra per plant. So that is pretty awesome. And they are doing pretty good. They're doing a lot better than they were. I don't like to get them that big. I just haven't been out here and got them. I'm making pickles with them. That's what I do, refrigerator pickles, and they are super, super good. I like them probably about this size or smaller. Whenever you keep them this way, they're just sweeter, and the good thing about refrigerator pickles is they stay nice and crunchy too. So I like that. I guess pickled okra, not actual pickles, but you can do it with cucumbers. Oh, that's a big one in there. That one's probably going to be way too big, but we'll just go ahead and cut it and get it out of here. But he would be good for seeds after he dried up there. That would be good. I just broke that. Well, that'll be a few less. But these ones are really starting to produce. Last time we didn't really get that much, but they are doing really good.
The size you like.
Okay, good. I seen those back there, but there are ways. Hopefully the microphone isn't too loud with this. Oh man, that is a big one. That's crazy. That's probably, actually it isn't, it is kind of hard, so that probably couldn't be used. I'll have to cut it and test it.
You could use those in like soup or something like that if you wanted to.
Dehydrate it or something, but they can get really hard. Sorry if the microphone's in all that. That's a lot of material we gotta weed through. They're doing really good though. Like they're really starting to produce more. Trying to break that one off because I cannot see it. That one's being difficult. Y'all are probably laughing at me. I just can't see.
Sometimes you gotta fight them.
I am. I'm fighting it. I think it's winning the battle though.
I think there's one right here that's about the size you like too.
Okay. Yeah, it's really hard to see. That's the thing I liked about my burgundy okra is it was a lot easier to see and be able to pick them off there. I like that about the purple ones. And also whenever you do your pickled okra, it makes the liquid pretty purpley pink color. I kind of missed that this year, but I am certainly getting a lot more production off of them than I've ever got with my burgundy okra. But this is really producing really well. Okay, I was kind of harsh on it last week, and now it's turning me. It's doing good.
I know. I've noticed basically every morning I look out here and there's a dozen flowers that are open.
Yeah.
They look really pretty.
They are so pretty. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the flowers. They're all closed up now because it's the end of the day, but they're like this beautiful yellow hibiscus flower. In the center of them is this beautiful burgundy color you can kind of see. They are super, super pretty. Oh, wow. That is a lot. From how many is that? Like 4 or 5 plants?
Yeah.
That did really, really good. Now, some of these I may not be able to use, but
sometimes putting them in the brine, though, it will soften them up.
Yeah. But if you're picky like me. I always think the small ones in jars, like before I started making my own homemade, that those were the best ones. This one is a Star of David variety.
That thing's 8 feet tall.
Look how thick these things get. That is crazy. They are so chunky.
Like I'm pointing up at the sky to show where. I don't know how you're reaching it.
I think I am going to need a ladder if they continue to grow. They are hard to get. My goodness.
Want me to bend it down for you?
I don't know. Maybe.
Here, I'll bend it down.
Okay, thank you. Maybe that's the better solution. That's a lot less time than going and getting the ladder. But yeah, like I like them more like this size, like this smaller size. I think that's a lot better. That's what I like. I'm losing them. They're getting all slimy. Oh goodness. I'm dropping them. It's okay. I think that's all for that one, isn't it?
Oh, there's some right here.
Oh, okay.
And here.
Well, I meant that plant.
Oh yeah, that plant.
Okay, good. Yeah, they are really starting to produce. That is
One here
crazy.
too.
Like, this is so much more than I ever got with my burgundy okra. I did not get a big enough basket.
I don't know if y'all ask me though. When I look out here during the day at the flowers, I like this one's flowers better. They're a solid kind of a pastel yellow color.
It is a beautiful yellow. It sure is. And that burgundy too just really sets it off.
Yeah.
If you can see it, it's so beautiful. In the middle, it looks so nice. We had some hibiscus, one that was white and kind of a burgundy color like that, and it was beautiful as well. Ooh, they're starting to get slimy. That's the negative to okra.
Drag these towards you.
Okay, thank you. I'm getting there. Hey, these will be good too. They're not too big, so that's great. A few more. My basket is overflowing.
This thing gets pokey.
Yeah.
Like squash is.
I know. I don't think there's any there.
Yeah, there's one. There's
oh,
one there.
Okay, it's hidden in all the leaves. I see it now. Okay, thank you.
And then we got this one.
My goodness.
It's so stiff I can hardly bend it.
Yeah, that's a big one. Need to get those too, but they're so chunky. There we go.
I guess this is okra week.
I guess so.
We missed.
Look, I do not have a big enough basket.
Oh my goodness, you're going to have to go get another basket. I see more.
Do we really? Where? Okay,
Right
maybe
here.
I can get them on the other side. I'll go get them. That's crazy.
Good problems to have, I guess.
Yeah,
y'all.
I guess I was complaining about the tomatoes and the okras over here saying I'll make up for it.
I'm not the biggest fan of okra. I'll eat a little bit of fried okra every once in a while, 3 or 4 or 5 pieces, but I just can't handle the sliminess of it. It's just, I can eat it in like sometimes if you get like a good what do they call it, gumbo or etouffee or something like that. All y'all people in Louisiana are probably laughing at me the way I'm pronouncing all this stuff, but y'all got to remember I'm a hillbilly from the Ozarks, so.
My goodness, that was a lot.
Yeah,
I think I may just switch baskets.
You got loaded up on okra.
Yeah, I'm probably going to need a whole nother gallon jar to pickle all of this.
I'm going to need more than that.
Well, I still have a little bit of room in my other one. That is insane. Wow.
Yeah, that's the most okra I think we've ever harvested.
Absolutely. That is awesome. Well, I think we did good with those varieties this year. The weeds are getting me. You can tell I've been out here weeding. I just throw them everywhere. I'm chaos. Okay, well.
Right. I guess it's pepper time, huh?
Yep. Excuse us as we pass this over here. The peppers are doing okay. Yeah,
we've been watering them pretty heavily. It's our kind of one of our staple crops, so we baby them as much as possible.
Yeah, but we really don't baby anything. I'm a really lazy gardener.
Well, comparative to everything else, the peppers get babied.
They sure do. And they were super struggling with all of this heat and no rain. We have definitely gave them more water than anything else. You can see they're actually starting to put more little baby peppers on finally, so that's good. And this is the gypsy pepper variety. That is probably our #1 pepper that we like to grow.
Favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. For flavor and
production.
Taste, texture, like everything.
And they're super thick-walled, like sweet pepper. They are so good. And they are such a productive variety.
You can stuff them. You can
they
julienne them and use them in whatever you want.
We even did a trial over the winter to see which varieties we liked as stuffed peppers, and these ranked pretty high. I think for some people they were #1 and they were #2 for those of us that it wasn't. So they ranked really, really good.
Yeah, we figured the jalapenos or something like that would be better, but they actually weren't.
They were really good. And
some of these that are turning, I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah, and these are some hybrid varieties of peppers that we, or not hybrid, heirloom variety of peppers that we had tried this year. These are the Lisas, and I had high hopes for them because they're a nice thick-walled sweet pepper too. But comparatively, they just are nowhere near as good as like the gypsies. And another variety that we like is the King Arthur. It's like a green bell pepper. We like both of those an awful lot. They are super, super good.
Oh, I ripped this whole.
Well, that's all right.
Oh, he had a big old bad spot on him anyway.
It's okay. That not only are we struggling with the heat and stuff, I think whenever plants get stressed, like the bugs know and they just like come in and start swarming. Like we've had some issues with hornworms, not horribly bad, but some. Like I said, we're having issues with rodents. I'm trying to remember what else. And of course, the raccoons and possums and all of that.
Well, we hadn't had any trouble with any possums.
Well, yeah, I guess we just had to do a rescue mission with the possum.
Yeah, y'all will see that video here for too long. That was really something the other day. I guess yesterday.
Yep.
Days go by so fast anymore.
Really, these are those peppers that we had taken out. These were the heatless habaneros, and we put these Bonnie's plants in.
They're finally starting to do something.
Yeah, they're growing a little bit slowly but surely. So maybe by the fall they will produce something. We really haven't got anything off of them yet. That is really too late of a time to grow peppers. After years and years of growing, you kind of learn what time is best to plant for your area, and for us that is way too late.
Burgundy color.
Yeah, that is very pretty. That's the King Arthur bell pepper, and they're usually so much bigger and thicker than this. Like we're still getting good production, but last year, comparatively to last year, they are way slower and less productive.
We got a lot more rain sporadically. Usually we'll get a sporadic shower here and there, and it kind of boosts everything and helps everything out. But this year, the rain shut off and it did not come back.
Yeah, and then they can kind of get a little bit of relief from that too, but they have not. Like I'm just hoping that we can keep them holding on until it does start to cool off, because usually that we get like a whole nother flush in the fall. Oh my goodness, at the hummingbirds there. Well, they all moved away. There was so many hummingbirds there. I can see the skies are getting a little darker. I wonder if they know that the rain's coming. I hope so. That would be so nice.
I've noticed too that I don't know if there's anything to this or not, but I've noticed Carrie can show over there.
I don't know where you're
their old
about.
House over there, and that's where I've got all my tools and stuff like that, and where we store stuff, because we live in a little bitty tiny house and don't have anywhere to put that stuff. But I've noticed that this year, for some reason, the spiders are making their egg sacs even earlier this year. So I don't know if that foretells an earlier winter or what, but I thought that was kind of interesting that this year I've noticed that whenever I go in there, I'm finding a whole lot more spiders than what I usually do.
Yeah, a lot of people do like the persimmons, like kind of the old folktale readings of the persimmons, and I've heard a lot of people say that they're showing that it's going to be a really rough winter. Like they're showing like spoons and stuff, which means like you're going to be shoveling snow, and also knives, which means it's going to be like really windy and cold. So I don't know. I was wondering the same thing, if it's going to be like that.
I think that what is it they say that the persimmon thing is around 70, I think is what I heard, around
70 to 80, somewhere around in there.
70 to 80% correct. But you know, as you get older, you notice things, and as you live in a place, you know, we've lived in this place for, well, going on 20 years now. Well, I guess over 20 years now. And you notice these things after years and years. You notice when things are bad, like this time of the year, we're fighting raccoons and trying to keep them out of our bird feeders. And oh, there's one way over there.
Oh, you should have just told me.
Got him.
Good.
Like they'll do that for about a month or so, and then
we're at the end of the month, just about. And
yeah,
they're starting to get a little better.
Starting to calm down. I guess it's when they got their babies and stuff like that. But the spiders was something that I really noticed that really made me think that I wonder if we're not in store for a little bit earlier of a winter than what we normally get.
I haven't really paid any attention to the oak tree or not. Now, it may be because we did a lot of trimming on it, but usually we have a lot of more nuts and acorns and stuff on those trees.
I can tell you that there's a lot fewer acorns this year. The deer are going to have a hard time this year.
Really?
Because the squirrels are just hammering our feeders, and they're not just doing it to eat the seeds. They're doing it and they're running off and hiding them.
Yeah.
So they know that it's going to be a bad year for acorns. So let me grab a glove here and I'll come over here and get these pumpkins.
Yeah, we still got some pumpkins.
Still got pumpkins. We still got baby pumpkins.
We're able to keep them alive, surprisingly. Some of the older leaves and stuff look pretty bad, but they're still
If you notice, though, the older vines are putting off new growth.
That's so cool. Well, I got you about the worst glove I could possibly get you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry. I just grabbed the last pair. I had used some to get rid of some nasty smelling compost, and I figured he'd rather not have those, and that was the last pair.
Yeah, I thank you for that.
Well, I don't know which you'd rather, get poked or deal with that.
I'd rather get poked.
Okay. Well, I guess I made the right decision. I save a lot
way off over there.
Oh, is there? Okay. I save a lot of the hedge apples. We have a lot of that. Some people call them Osage oranges, those types of things. And they make these really big green balls that are really sticky.
They look like a brain.
Yeah, they're really, really sticky. And
they also are they're a relative of the lychee or lychee, depending on where you are. That's how you pronounce it. But
you can even graft them.
Yeah, you can. Oh, I broke the stem off.
Okay.
You can graft them together and grow them, but they look like a brain. Oh, something been chewing on this one.
Uh-oh. Well, if you think we should just leave
I'll just leave it there.
But I save all of that and turn that into compost, and it makes great compost. So,
yeah, whenever we first started gardening, that was basically...
Careful, that thing has got you, your poor knee.
Some dang vines.
I know, them things are horrible, that bindweed. Jeez, someone tried to do you in.
Did.
But anyways, what he was saying is we used to use the hedge apples and put that in our buckets, because that's what we used to garden mostly in, is in buckets. And that would almost like refresh the soil.
Yeah, exclusively that's what we used instead of compost.
Yeah, I wouldn't top off the beds or top off the buckets or anything. And I just used that, and the plants loved it. And the only negative to that is you have to deal with all the seeds that are in there. And if you let the plants get very big, they get thorns on them. So a lot of people use them a long time ago to make like barbed wire fence. They just kind of
it ain't a long time ago. They still do it.
Well, yeah, most people don't nowadays, but some people do.
No, there's a guy down the road that cuts it all the time and makes posts out of it you can buy.
Okay. Yeah, and the wood of that stuff too is like super, super hard.
Let me check over here and make sure there's none over here, but I think we about got everything.
Okay. I still got weeds in here. I really need to get out. I'm allergic to some of them things.
I thought I seen some in here growing the other day, but it must...
We might be getting some rain, though. The sky's a little gray.
Yeah, I don't think it's near gray enough.
I
we're
know we were.
losing the heat of the day. So
Yeah, that's true. We were so hopeful earlier, and I even climbed up on the rain barrel or the rain catchment system and got it all set up, and it was still such a letdown. We didn't get it. All right, y'all, sorry about that. The phone cut off. It decided to have a heat stroke, I guess. But this is what all we got. We got some tomatoes and pumpkins and okra and peppers. Not quite as big of a harvest as last time, but it has been really, really rough with all of the heat and no rain. So I hope that y'all's gardens are doing great. I hope that y'all stay cool and that everything is nice with the weather. I sure hope it starts looking up for us because it is really, really rough right now. So thank y'all all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.